Number 10. Pete Davidson and Kim Kardashian. One fateful night in October 2021, Kim Kardashian hosted Saturday Night Live and starred alongside Pete Davidson in a sketch parodying Aladdin. While the two may have played lovers on stage, even sharing a brief kiss during the scene, the romance continued long after the curtains were drawn, as Kim claimed the kiss gave her a little zing, and a month later her and Pete started being regularly seen together in public, and eventually revealing that they were in fact dating for about 9 months. They were traveling, they were shopping, and raising Northwest, Kim's daughter. Pete even got a tattoo at one point to show his loyalty to the family union, which sounds hardcore for some, but for Pete it's just another Tuesday. All of this is coming off the heels of Kim's recent divorce from rapper Kanye West, which left the three as targets of a media frenzy, and having every moment of their drama posted online for the world to see. After 9 months, the couple split and Pete started dating someone new, but that didn't last very long, as at this year's Met Gala, Kim and Pete had a reunion on the red carpet, and Pete was reportedly seen staring longingly into Kim's eyes as they spoke about their feelings, and he spoke about nothing but vibes between the two. That's cute. But these two getting back together is definitely in the near future. Here's hoping that it's 10 months this time.
Number 9. John Mayer and Jessica Simpson. If there's one thing that Hollywood knows by now, it's that John Mayer is a bit of a playboy. His reputation as a womanizer definitely precedes him, so that's why everyone at one point was really surprised to see him with Jessica Simpson. He raised eyebrows when he used the phrase sexual napalm to describe his romance with Simpson, and even compared her to a certain illicit substance that he said he couldn't get enough of. The couple dated for a year, but they broke up several times throughout their relationship. In fact, sources close to the couple told people that things were always on and off between the pair, and they had arguments constantly. Unfortunately, 2006 marked the year that they decided to finally split for good. The couple was on vacation in Mexico when there were photos snapped of them arguing on the balcony of their room. Jessica looked like she was in tears, and it was undoubtedly a breakup. The news of their split came shortly after the photos were released, meaning there's a good chance that the paparazzi actually captured the moment when Jessica and John called things off for good.
Number 8. Shawn Mendes and Camila Cabello. The pair first met in 2014 when Cabello, a member of the group Fifth Harmony, and Shawn Mendes were opening acts for singer Austin Mahone on his tour. They were often seen backstage engaging in intimate conversations, with Cabello claiming that Mendes was one of the only people on that tour that would ever actually come up and say hi to her. Following the tour, the pair kept in touch, sparking relationship rumors that would continue for about 4 years. They would often post videos of themselves covering love songs together, as well as several photos suggesting that they were always going on excursions or just spending a lot of their free time together. But it wasn't until 2019 that the pair would be spotted by TMZ holding hands and kissing in public at a 4th of July party, and the confirmation was clear. They were inseparable for almost 2 years, posting hundreds of photos of their adventures together and an excess amount of PDA as well. Like, guys, calm down. When suddenly in November 2021, the couple announced that they would be ending their romantic relationship, but that their love for each other as humans was stronger than ever. Okay, whatever that means. 3 months later, Camila revealed the breakup was the result of shifting priorities professionally, but maybe a little breather was all they needed, since at Coachella in 2023, they were seen making out, seemingly back together, or possibly stirring a toxic pot of getting back with your ex when you know it's a bad idea. Like don't do it. Just don't do it.
Number 7. Bradley Cooper and Irina Shayk. Bradley Cooper and Irina Shayk were one of the power couples in Hollywood. The two dated for nearly 4 years before calling it quits in 2019. However, the two have created many memories which fans fondly remember, even one of them at the famed tennis tournament. Paparazzi caught what looked like a super awkward argument between actor Bradley Cooper and his model girlfriend at the 2016 Wimbledon's men final. In the video footage from that day, Bradley was caught whispering into Irina's ear while she appears to cry and turn her head away from the actor. She appeared to be dabbing tears out of her eyes and then crossed her arms and refused to look at him. In the video, he then went back to watching the tennis and she just sat in silence beside him. While it's not clear why the two were really fighting or what they could have been possibly fighting about, but that didn't stop people online from speculating wildly the way the internet loves to do. Some even suggested that Bradley and Irina were fighting over his ex-girlfriend Suki Waterhouse. Although it feels like you can almost cut the tension with a knife, TMZ later reported that sources close to the couple claimed Irina was simply battling pollen allergies. Well, it really could have been anything.
Number 6. Tommy Lee and Pamela Anderson. This bad romance started in the early 1990s when the two first met at a nightclub, and 6 weeks later they flew to Cancun for a weekend getaway of wholesome family fun, I'm sure, only to be married to each other 96 hours later. Their romance quickly soured, however, when they returned to California to find that a scorned electrician, Rand Gunther, who had recently been fired from a job working for Lee, had procured a certain tape. This tape showed the couple being intimate together, and he wanted them to pay. Anderson and Lee filed a $10 million lawsuit to attempt to prevent the tape from being published, but the suit was eventually dropped. The couple have come clean in interviews, saying that not being able to do anything about the tape was adding way too much stress and frustration to their relationship, and the couple called it quits in 1998. They were on and off over the years, with Anderson even briefly being married to musician Kid Rock in 2007, and Rick Solomon, who was a champion poker player, in 2008. Pam and Tommy would eventually get back together towards the end of 2008, but even moving the family back in with Tommy wasn't enough, because the reunion was very short-lived, as the couple would call it quits for good about 2 years later.
Number 5. Jesy Nelson and Jake Roche. When the former couple arrived together at the album release party for Little Mix's Get Weird in 2015, they were supposed to be in high spirits for the event, but the evening soon took a turn for the worst, as somehow it ended up with Jesy crying. It was reported that Jesy allegedly had a massive fight with her then fiance before she decided she had had enough and stormed out. A source told the Daily Mirror newspaper that the girls had been having a great night, drinking and even dancing on the tables the whole night until the early hours. But somewhere around the AM, Jesy and Jake had a tiff, and Jake stomped off to a nearby hotel, and Jesy was clearly sobbing and she took a cab home. The singer was spotted leaving the venue in London and hopping into a cab in the early hours of the morning, with makeup smudged around her face and eyes bloodshot after the fight. The couple announced their split the following year, so it looked like in this case the fight may have been indicative of a larger issue in their relationship. According to reports, the reason they split was because Jesy wanted to start a family, but Jake, who was only 24, felt that he was too young to be a father, and that they had the rest of their lives to have children.
Number 4. Miley Cyrus and Liam Hemsworth. Miley admitted to dating her co-star from the film The Last Song in 2010, but the romance has been anything but picturesque. In June of that same year, Miley denied rumors that there had been a split taking place between the pair, but in August, the rumors had been confirmed. The couple was quietly on and off again a few more times before publicly announcing their reconciliation in April 2011. And in 2012, they were engaged, and all seemed to be back on track. But the bad news came in like a wrecking ball as the reports began surfacing of Liam Hemsworth cheating on Miley. Within a few months of the engagement, they announced that the couple had called the wedding off and has since maintained an air of secrecy about their exact relationship. But we have to wonder, does she still got that ring though?
Number 3. Johnny McDaid and Courteney Cox. These two are also known for their on-again, off-again relationship, and after getting back together once again after a brief split, the actress and her musician boyfriend were seen arguing outside a West London restaurant and appeared to be exchanging heated words as they dined outside during Courtney's visit to the British capital. In one shot, the former Friends actress can be seen waving her arms and phone in front of Johnny's face, while in another she looks frustrated as she held her head in her hands. Not long after, she gave her then fiance the silent treatment before getting to her feet to leave the restaurant. For some background, the pair have been engaged, unengaged, and living separately for the majority of their relationship, even though they've been together for 7 years. And so this argument really fueled rumors of more relationship problems. The argument was reportedly about the couple planning their nuptials when they started fighting about the finer details, and insiders told reporters that the couple couldn't agree where they would live, as Johnny supposedly wanted to move back to the UK and Courtney wanted to remain in LA.
Number 2. Gigi Hadid and Zayn Malik. In 2015, Gigi Hadid had just split up with boy band singer Joe Jonas and was on the search for a new man that she found in the form of Zayn Malik, a boy band singer. The One Direction singer took an interest in Hadid after standing in on a photo shoot that she was involved with. They spent a lot of time together and became very close. So close, in fact, that in 2016, Zayn would confirm that Gigi was in fact his current girlfriend. girlfriend. They made their first public appearance together at that year's Met Gala, cosplaying as a cyborg knight and the evil witch who rules the land. And not long after, the couple split, only to get back together 5 days later. 5 days. Seemingly back without problems, the couple continued to post lavish lifestyle pics and all seemed well until March in 2018 when the couple announced that they would once again be taking a break. But then the next month they got back together, and then a month after that they broke up again. Do you see the pattern here, guys? Take the hint, okay? The universe is clearly telling you something.
Number 1. Shia LaBeouf and Karolyn. Yes, he's back on the list because the actor has a seriously extensive track record of public spats. Shia LaBeouf is fairly well known for his outlandish behavior, where he frequently just takes it way too far by getting kicked out of a performance of Cabaret or being arrested for public drunkenness in 2017. But this fight dates back to 2012 when he and his then girlfriend Karolyn were caught fighting on camera and having a tearful exchange on the side of the road in LA. It was then that rumors started circulating about the extent of Shia's involvement in the sex scenes in Lars von Trier's Nymphomaniac, which were reportedly real. So naturally his girlfriend would be upset. She did not seem too thrilled that her actor boyfriend Shia had shared an intimate scene with his co-star in the movie. But Karolyn was pretty quick to deny the fight, telling the New York Daily News, quote, "It's none of anybody's business. Everything is fine with us. It was nothing affiliated with this movie." Although that might be true, clearly something had caused the couple to have a public screaming match on the side of the road in broad daylight. And just like that, in November the same year, the couple had officially decided to split for good.
Starting off our list at number 10 today, we have Beyoncé and Jay-Z. Back in January of 2015, Beyoncé and Jay-Z had anything but a quiet sushi night as the megastar couple was captured getting into it at Sushi Park restaurant in Los Angeles. In released photos, Beyoncé could be seen yelling at her husband. And later, OK Magazine would then speculate that the altercation happened because Jay-Z's non-stop cell phone use during dinner. However, like many mysteries and the fact that the couple usually tends to keep their private life, pretty private, no one can say for sure what the two may have been arguing about. However, this wouldn't be the couple's first public fight since back in 2014, the couple had an infamous elevator incident that first brought potential difficulties in their relationship to light, and both have explored marital conflict in their albums 444 and Lemonade respectively. But it seems like all is well now as they continue to gush about each other in interviews, and back in 2017, Jay-Z also said he was really proud of the art Beyoncé was releasing, and he also noted that she was amazing. Coming in number 9, Emma Roberts and Evan Peters. Just before Emma Roberts and Evan Peters split for good, the American Horror Story co-stars in 2013 were caught on camera while they had a pretty serious physical fight. While it may have seemed at the time that the two were actually a perfect couple in Hollywood, it was anything but perfect. When the two stars started to make headlines after they had a pretty public fight in Montreal, the New York Daily News would then report that the Montreal police had to attend to the scene after people called in a domestic situation. When the police showed up to the couple's hotel room, they would find Evan with a handful of injuries, which included a bloody nose and a bite mark. The police then opted to arrest Emma on the scene, even after Evan chose not to file charges against her. Although Emma was released, the paparazzi would then capture her breaking down when she learned the news had reached the media. Hey my little peaches, are you liking this video so far? If so, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Coming in number 8, Miley Cyrus and Liam Hemsworth. When Miley Cyrus and Liam Hemsworth posed at the LA premiere of the Avengers Endgame in 2019, their red carpet smiles didn't last too long, as the two widely displayed their different styles and tensions between them were pretty palpable. When Miley couldn't stop talking about how she wanted to let her hair down and have a crazy fun night out, Liam was there to support his brother Chris and was hoping to have a fairly chilled evening. And it appears neither of them would end up leaving the red carpet happy at the end of the night, as Miley did Miley, as she was seen vamping it up for photographers, and her Aussie actor hubby at the time grew increasingly uncomfortable, resulting in the famous duo getting into their first major fight as a married couple. And you could even see Liam at one point on the red carpet telling Miley to behave. After the two then walked off the red carpet, Liam would then angrily accuse Miley of turning the premiere into the Miley show, and once the couple got home, a source would then reveal that they got into a big fat argument. And then jump to the day, Miley wrote a song called flowers that highlights their relationship and how it was never perfect. And it's been #1 on the billboards for the last 3 weeks. And she even took a jab at Liam in the music video by wearing the suit he wore that night on the red carpet. At #7, we have Jennifer Garner and Ben Affleck. Before Jennifer Garner and Ben Affleck decided to go their separate ways, the world was pretty shocked to learn that their marriage was anything but perfect. While there were plenty of rumors in 2015 that suggested Ben had been unfaithful in their marriage with the family's former nanny, after the couple returned home from vacation, a fight would break out shortly after, and this is when they dropped their 3 children off at school. Onlookers would then tell In Touch that Jennifer and Ben were in their SUV when things started to get a little out of hand. They even started to claim that there was lots of gesturing through it all, and the photos and videos captured, you could see Jennifer crying. This is when people started to believe that Ben was making it clear that their marriage was over and that he was going forward with the divorce. #6, Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt. At one point in time, Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt were Hollywood's it couple, and you couldn't turn around without seeing them mentioned somewhere in the street. But it seems like after the couple filed for divorce and went their separate ways, they have been hitting headlines for some pretty serious accusations. Before the couple ultimately decided to part ways, they would be spotted at Legoland in Windsor, and they would be spotted coming off this ride with their children, and the couple could be seen getting into a pretty serious argument where Brad would be shown touching Angelina's arm before she pulled away and decided to shout in the actor's face while they were in public. The people who captured the photos then said they saw the couple again later, and they looked like they were still arguing sometime later. #5, Channing Tatum and Jenna Dawen. While it seems to be a trend of couples meeting on the set of movies and getting together and becoming couples, Channing Tatum and Jenna Dawen were no exception, as the pair started dating shortly after they worked together on the iconic dance movie Step Up. Although it looked like things were going extremely well for the pair, they would show the world that there were signs that things were off for months before they announced their divorce. Jenna would even open up about the couple's last months together in their relationship in her book. This is when she would claim that the two were only hurting each other by staying together. Also leading up to the couple's divorce, the couple were often seen sharing words out in public before heading out and getting snapped by the media in several photos. And after the public arguments, it would seem like Jenna would rather look at her cell phone than talk to Channing. #4, Blueface and Chrisean Rock. Lately it seems like Blueface and his girlfriend Chrisean keep making headlines for all the wrong reasons. If you've been online for the past few months, then you probably have seen the viral videos and tweets of the rappers going viral with the rise of the couple's reality show Crazy in Love. However, while some users view the relationship as entertaining, I think we can collectively agree that their relationship is pretty toxic, as we have seen the two enter into some pretty concerning altercations. The problem with the two is not only that the relationship is dangerous, but it's also harmful for the immediate parties around them. While it seems like Chrisean is the main reason behind the couple's toxic relationship, she would go into an interview to come out to address the public's concern about her relationship by saying, "We're just here learning, figuring things out. We met each other how we met each other, but that's it." However, now that Chrisean has announced her pregnancy with Blueface, things are only going to get more messy going forward, and that's what is the most concerning part for their fans watching. #3, Keith Urban and Nicole Kidman. Like any couple, it's no secret that Keith Urban and Nicole Kidman have endured their fair share of issues throughout their relationship. After all, Keith has used some of their disagreements as inspiration for his songs. While the couple often tends to keep their disagreements away from the media, back in 2016 when Nicole was captured giving her husband a look that no husband wants to see, the internet would go into a frenzy while they tried to figure out what happened. The confrontation would happen when they were at a movie premiere. Insiders would then tell the Daily Mail that things took a turn when Keith got upset over the couple's very busy schedules as they had spent the year apart. Apparently, Keith wanted to return to Australia to be with their family, but Nicole, on the other hand, was just really sick of Keith sulking about them being apart, and she just wanted him to be with her and support her career. #2, Rihanna and Chris Brown. Back in the day, Rihanna and Chris Brown had a relationship that made us all raise our her eyebrows. Eventually, during their relationship, after headlines started to show that Chris got into a physical altercation with Rihanna, he would eventually be arrested and charged, and eventually the stars would also call off their relationship. Just before, the couple was at a pre-Grammy party when they started arguing in a car. Later, Rihanna would then open up about the altercation in an interview with Diane Sawyer. There, she would claim that their altercation started after Rihanna saw a text from a girl on Chris's phone. Rihanna then said that she knew he was lying and that he knew he had nowhere to turn. However, Rihanna would then go on to note that there had been warning signs that something bad was going to happen long before the incident. Apparently, the more the couple fell in love, the more they both started to realize how dangerous they were for another. Today, Rihanna has used her experience to help other young women going through similar situations. Number 1. Mia Goth and Shia LaBeouf. Just before Mia Goth and Shia LaBeouf decided to split, they had quite a habit of getting caught on camera having these really public fights. Just before the two started dating, Shia actually met and fell in love with Mia Goth on a set of their movie, and eventually they decided to walk down the aisle. While the couple has now gone on their separate ways, they were involved in some pretty high profile and public fights while they were in Germany. In a viral video in 2015, the two could be seen screaming at each other. The footage in that video would then show Shia walking away from the scene and getting into a car as he explains that he didn't want to hurt Mia. Then a source would confirm that apparently when Mia tried to talk to Shia again, he would then respond to Mia by saying he was being pushed and he didn't want to be aggressive.
Number 10. Kirsten Dunst and Garrett Hedlund. This is a great way to start off the list because even though this public fight was embarrassing, it seemed like the couple were able to shrug it off relatively quickly. We're going to talk about the epic couple fight that happened way back in 2012 between actress Kirsten Dunst and her on-the-road co-star Garrett Hedlund, who just recently started dating at the time. Although the actors had plenty in common and things started going well initially, cameras caught the couple having a major argument on their way to a movie theater, which was so intense it looked like it was about more than which movie they were seeing. It looked like something had sparked a pretty big fight as the pair continued to hurl insults at each other on the way. Whatever happened in the car that day, it was probably just a petty argument because they ended up dating for another 4 years. And in 2015, Kirsten said, quote, "We're the same age, we have similar backgrounds, he feels like family to me." But sadly, like most other good things, the relationship came to an end in April of 2016.
Number 6. MGK and Megan Fox. Megan and Machine first met in March 2020 on the set of the indie thriller Midnight in Switchgrass. The production was shut down after 2 weeks because of, the world at the time, but long after the camera was cut, the two were still keeping in touch, spending a majority of their downtime together and developing a solid relationship, sort of. You see, Megan was technically married at the time to her husband of 10 years, Brian Austin Green, but was quarantining separately from him. Green posted on Instagram 3 days after Megan's birthday that the pair had in fact been on a break since December of 2019. Their relationship had been rocky from the get-go, being married and divorced twice in 10 years, but that rocky road seemed to lead to MGK as well, as the pair got engaged just under 2 years after meeting. But things took a dramatic turn for the worst in February 2023 when over Super Bowl weekend, Fox suddenly unfollowed MGK's social medias and removed almost all of the photos of them together. She also posted on Instagram, quoting a Beyoncé lyric, "You can taste the dishonesty, it's all over your breath," from the artist's 2016 Lemonade song, "Pray You Catch Me." Many fans began speculating that there may have been some kind of cheating situation or that the pair were simply about to split up and never look back, but Fox eventually deleted her post and revealed to insiders that the pair had a fight over the weekend that left them questioning the relationship. The pair are still very much on and off in terms of their relationship, and while they keep in touch and are still trying to work things out, Megan has stopped wearing her engagement ring. So that can't be a great sign.
Number 8. Adrienne Maloof and Shawn Stewart. Apart from their almost 20-year age difference, it seemed like there were a myriad of other issues that plagued the brief relationship between Rod Stewart's son, Shawn Stewart, and former Real Housewives of Beverly Hills cast member Adrienne Maloof. The couple split up after having a blowout fight on the red carpet. According to eyewitnesses, the duo arrived separately, and Adrienne walked the red carpet with an even younger man, 24-year-old Jacob Bush. TMZ spotted the pair fighting next to the red carpet at the charity event, which definitely marked the end of their on-again, off-again relationship. The argument between them got heated, and Shawn could be seen storming off, telling his his ex, "I'm done," when her date tried to approach him. Stewart later claimed to Brandi Glanville on her podcast, quote, "I do want to clear up one rumor. She never broke my heart." But when it came time to explain the bizarre public fight, the reality TV star only told Star Magazine, quote, "I have a lot of changes going on in my life. I went through a period of darkness and I am much happier now than ever. Things are good."
Number 7. Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith. The Smith family has been at the top of the news storm recently after it was announced that Jada Pinkett Smith's Facebook talk show Red Table was being cancelled. One topic that was brought up on the series before its cancellation was the revelation of an entanglement, whatever that means, between Pinkett and singer-songwriter August Alsina during a brief break the couple took in the early 2000s. Pinkett was quick to bounce back though after breaking up with Will, entangling with August, and then eventually getting back with Will to continue their marriage. Now it's not all sunshine and rainbows though, as the couple still has marital issues to this day. They've been thrown even further under the bus by their own kids, Willow and Jaden, who have called the pair out on their lack of proper parenting skills and for essentially leaving them to their own devices growing up. Together, Jada and Will carry around a dark storm cloud of negativity and spread it to everyone they interact with. So better bring an umbrella, guys.
Number 6. Jennifer Garner and Ben Affleck. The stars were photographed having a very emotional moment inside a car prior to their divorce. Back in 2016, the pair were arguing in their SUV after dropping their 3 children at school when things started to get really heated. Just looking at the picture that has been circulated online, you can tell that Jennifer was getting very frustrated with whatever Ben was saying, and she proceeded to make hand gestures throughout the argument, probably because she felt like she wasn't being heard. At one point, she can actually be seen breaking down in tears inside the vehicle. But this instance wasn't a one-off, and recently it seems like Ben has a lot of explaining to do. The 49-year-old was caught earlier this year puffing on his cigarette fiercely while appearing to be in another fight with Jennifer on the streets of Los Angeles. The exes appeared to be locked in a heated conversation outside her car just hours after it was revealed that Ben and his now fiancée Jennifer Lopez bought a $50 million home together. The pair rekindled their relationship in April last year, almost immediately after she ended her engagement with Alex Rodriguez. So the timing is definitely interesting.
Number 5. Selena Gomez and Justin Bieber. J-Biebs and Selena were Hollywood's young golden couple when they first got together in 2009 after being introduced by their managers, following an interview with Justin where he admitted that Gomez was his celebrity crush. It appeared that the feeling was mutual though, as later on that year on New Year's Eve, Justin appeared in Las Vegas serenading Gomez with his song One Less Lonely Girl, and cuddling up as he did it. Initially though, it seemed like Justin was simply viewed as her best friend, seeing as she once said that she felt like Justin's big sister. Well, in 2010, they were spotted together on a date, and the rest is media storm history. Their relationship became the talk of the town. He even rented out the Staples Center just so the two of them could be alone together on a date. Despite the romantic gestures, Bieber had reportedly started cheating on Selena, and they split. But Gomez is a forgiving type, and the pair have continuously been on and off again for nearly a decade. At one point, they even got back together and moved into the same apartment, only to break up again. Like, immediately. Do you guys know how hard it is to rent a U-Haul these days?
Number 4. Selena Gomez and Justin Bieber. Their infamous on and off again relationship was definitely not free from arguments, and some of them were caught on camera. Right before Selena and Justin got on a plane to Paris, they got into a huge fight while at Princess Juliana International Airport in St. Martin, and unfortunately it looked like a massive one. In the video, we see Justin and Selena sitting in their car outside the airport in St. Martin before their Paris flight. Selena storms out of the car, walks into the airport by herself and throws her bag on the floor. Justin didn't immediately follow her, instead he chose to sit in the car for a little bit, which probably made her even more mad. When he did enter a few minutes later, she was chatting with a fan that had a baby, and Justin came over and they silently walked to their flight. You could tell both of them were equally frustrated, but in 2014, this was only one of the many public fights that the couple would go on to have. In fact, after their romantic trip, they went to Paris Fashion Week, which led to more arguing because Justin reportedly went to dinner with Kendall Jenner and partied with her at the same party that Selena was at. She flew out the next morning alone, leaving Justin in Paris, and then deleted him off Instagram.
Number 3. Kourtney Kardashian and Scott Disick. Keeping Up with the Kardashians is a historical series in the world of reality television. For over a decade, fans have been able to watch the family grow, both literally and figuratively, with the addition of friends, family, and in this case, lovers. Scott and Kourtney's story began where all fairy tale relationships begin, at a famous friend's house in Mexico. In 2006, the pair attended a mutual friend's party at his home in Mexico. A photo from that night shows the two sitting together but nowhere near each other. Disick recounts liking Kourtney almost immediately, but that she wanted absolutely nothing to do with him. But something must have changed in between A and B, as the two appeared as a couple on the series premiere of the reality show in 2007. At first, the family was standoffish, claiming that Scott was immature and that his loyalty meant absolutely nothing. Kris Jenner, Kourtney's mom, even said in one episode that she knew Scott was cheating on her daughter. She just wasn't sure how to go about the situation. Now, Disick denies those claims and reaffirmed his love for Kourtney until he couldn't deny any longer because his sisters, Kim and Khloe, found a series of text messages on an old phone to someone named My Wife. The text revealed he had cheated on her while the family was staying in the Hamptons, and Kim was furious for like a second. A year later, she would announce that the pair were expecting their first child together, seemingly making the whole cheating ordeal water under the bridge. But it didn't stop. Over the years, the couple has split and healed over and over and over, time and again, and at one point, Disick even entered rehab with the support of Kourtney, and he still cheated on her. In 2015, another round of allegations came out, and they split, only to get back together again, and then split, and then get back together again. And now they have 3 kids, and have been doing a good job as co-parents. But with Kourtney now married to a musician, Travis Barker, we've got to wonder, is she gonna pull a Scott on this man?
Number 2, Christopher Hivju and Guy Mulvert. If you forget about Season 8, Game of Thrones was really an epic TV series that took over the world as soon as Season 1 hit, and made several of its stars household names. Norwegian actor Christopher was one of the stars who appeared in the series over the years, but it was his public fight with his wife, Guy, who is a photographer, that really got people talking. They say that redheads are known for their temper, so it seems like these two are really perfect for each other. The couple were spotted having a heated argument as they were shopping in Los Angeles, as Guy had reportedly been looking for a new dress. No one really knows what the fight was about, but onlookers claimed that their argument lasted for over an hour and escalated very quickly. During the fight, you can see the actor raises his hands in the air in frustration, while his wife, who looks incredibly distraught, has her eyes to the ground the whole time. The fight continued before they both stormed off. Just goes to show you how celebrities are normal people too.
Number 1, Charlie Sheen and Brooke Mueller. For those who don't know, Charlie Sheen is an actor. You may recognize his face from the show 2.5 Men, as well as his performance in the much-loved Scary Movie franchise. After he met Brooke Mueller, his life would forever be changed. The two got married in May 2008, and Mueller gave birth to a set of twin sons the following year. The couple seemed happy, and family life was on the horizon, until the couple got into a heated dispute in Aspen in 2009, and Charlie got handcuffed. He was charged with felony menacing, as well as third-degree assault charges and criminal mischief. Now, most of the charges were dismissed, and Sheen pleaded guilty to misdemeanor assault, so he received a sentence that included rehab, probation, and anger management. The couple filed for a divorce, but that certainly wasn't the end of their public fiascos, as they were constantly seen canoodling together and being romantic, despite the fact that Mueller was herself in and out of rehab as well. Way to define long distance, guys, and toxic.
Number 10, Nigella Lawson and Charles Saatchi. The couple's fight was witnessed by a photographer who stumbled upon celebrity chef Nigella Lawson being choked by none other than her husband, Britain's most high-profile figure, Charles Saatchi. The incident all went down during her birthday lunch, and a now infamous photo was captured of the chilling sight. The photographer, who only went by the name Jean-Paul, told Vanity Fair in 2013 that when Charles grabbed his wife's throat, quote, "It was so violent, with such force that her head snapped backward." The story hit the tabloids at full speed and actually served to open up a much-needed conversation about domestic violence. Their relationship was obviously far from perfect, but the intense controversy that the incident sparked was enough to tear them apart forever. That same year, Charles filed for divorce from Nigella after 10 years of marriage. Funnily enough, he later told the Daily Mail that putting his hands on her throat was merely a gesture and insisted that there was no pressure applied to her. Yeah, right. Number 9. Kim Kardashian and Kris Humphries. Their 72-day marriage had certainly shown signs that it was going to end quickly. A few days before Kim divorced Kris on day 68, the couple was spotted arguing in their car while out on a dinner date in Hollywood. The newlywed couple were photographed heading back to Kim's car after dinner, and you could visibly see the tension in the air. Kris looked fed up, and Kim was giving her new husband the death stare while yelling and waving her hands at him as the argument began to escalate. This very public fight was indicative that their relationship was on the rocks, because that same year Kim went on to file for divorce and got the marriage annulled. The Los Angeles Times even reported that Kim had only married him to increase ratings on Keeping Up with the Kardashians. The best part was that Kris asked for a $7 million divorce settlement from his ex-wife. Otherwise, he threatened to make her endure an ugly public trial. But the NBA star ended up walking away with literally nothing. Number 8. Emma Roberts and Evan Peters. The American Horror Story actors first met on the set of Adult World in 2012, and in the short 4 years since then, the two have shared more drama than some of Hollywood's biggest blockbusters. Toxic doesn't even begin to describe their relationship. We're talking about at least 3 breakups and deleting all social media traces of each other. Early on in their relationship, TMZ reported that the two got into a heated argument while staying at a hotel in Montreal that ended up with both stars getting physical. When police arrived, Peters was found with a bloody nose and bite marks on his body, prompting police to take Emma into custody, arresting her for domestic violence. But her then boyfriend decided not to press charges, and they were back together a few hours later. What's really bizarre is that a couple of days after the fight, photos were shared online of Emma clinging to Evan while sobbing into his arms after news broke of the fight. Paparazzi were even able to capture the two hugging one another, with Emma looking extremely upset the whole time. The incident was a bit of a grey area, but many have labeled it as straight up domestic violence. Number 7. Stephen Amell and Cassandra Jean Amell. The couple have been married since 2012 and all seemed well in public until it didn't. The star of CW's Arrow and his wife got into an altercation on a Delta flight from Austin to Los Angeles that ended up with the actor having to be forcibly removed from the flight. Stephen was reportedly screaming at Cassandra while they were seated on the plane and appeared to be intoxicated when a flight attendant asked him to calm down multiple times. When the fight escalated to the point of no return, the actor had to be restrained and removed by an air marshal and 3 flight attendants that worked together to get him off the plane. His wife did not go with him and instead chose to remain on the flight. Big surprise there. With the incident made public, Stephen took to Twitter to try and explain the whole thing and claimed that his emotions got the better of him. Quote, "My wife and I got into an argument. I was asked to lower my voice and I did. Approximately 10 minutes later, I was asked to leave the flight, and I did so immediately. I was not forcibly removed." The whole thing was really absurd because if they needed 4 people to get him off the flight, something about his side of the story just doesn't add up. Number 6. Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt. Before the former couple split, their relationship was clearly becoming strained, as The Sun reported that the same year that Jolie filed for divorce, they were spotted in Legoland having a major public spat. Onlookers told the magazine that both stars didn't look happy and looked stern-faced, and photos from the incident show Brad actually grabbing Angelina's arm while she pulls away and appears to be screaming at him. The couple filed for divorce in 2016, citing irreconcilable differences. Now the actors are both learning to co-parent their 6 children after years of custody battles and child support drama. According to Daily Mail, Brad has even been seen visiting Angelina's house to spend time with his kids, so it sounds like they are back on good terms. Number 5. Rihanna and Hassan Jamil. The former couple seemed like they were perfect for each other after rumors swirled that the two were engaged in 2017. Although they managed to keep their relationship very private and didn't post many photos together on social media, photos emerged of the two on a trip to Mexico in 2018 that left many fans wondering if they were done for good. The paparazzi captured photos that painted a picture of Rihanna screaming at her former billionaire boyfriend and angrily pointing her finger at him while they were on the poolside. What's interesting about the photos is that in comparison to Rihanna, Jamil looked very calm and almost passive in the argument, which made the whole thing go viral. Because of all the noise online, the singer took to Instagram and posted a meme of a female lion roaring at a male lion with the caption, quote, "When you think you know more about soccer, hashtag World Cup 2018. But even though she had a good sense of humor about the fight, the couple still ended up splitting up in 2020 because allegedly their lives were just too different and it was too hard to maintain a relationship. Number 4. Nicholas Hoult and Jennifer Lawrence. The couple fell in love with each other when they first met on the set of the X-Men movie series and became co-stars. Jennifer played Mystique and Nicholas portrayed Beast. It all seemed to be going well for the pair until they suddenly split in 2014 after dating for nearly 5 years. They did have a really public fight, however, when they were once spotted arguing during a dinner. According to reports, the former couple was at a restaurant together when they started really getting into it. Witnesses claim that the actress was upset about something and even threw her hands into the air at one point. Nicholas apparently also got very frustrated as he started shouting at her. Jennifer had apparently had enough with him and broke down as he stormed out of the restaurant. Seems like it was a bit of a mess, but it's great that the former couple have since been able to move on with their respective partners. Number 3. Simon Cowell and Lauren Silverman. This was not just one explosive fight, but actually several. The lid was really blown off the couple's relationship problems when paparazzi captured photos of them in March last year having a tense argument while walking with their son Eric. According to The Sun, passerbys noticed that the X Factor judge had a face like thunder, and their arguing was so loud almost everyone could hear them. In fact, it was reportedly so bad that Lauren got fed up and had to walk away from Simon, while the former American Idol judge decided to cross the road to the other side to put some distance between them, and he walked the rest of the way on the other side of the street. But that wasn't the first time that the pair had a fight in public. In fact, back in 2013, the couple were seen shouting at each other inside a car in New York City. They were even photographed in the middle of an altercation while sitting in the back of an SBU in broad daylight with their windows down. Simon had his hands in the air and Lauren looked like she was crying. I guess it goes to show you that celebrities really are just normal people. Number 2. Beyoncé and Jay-Z. Yes, I'm about to talk about the infamous sushi fight. So in 2016, the paparazzi caught the power couple dining at a sushi park restaurant in LA. And from the photos which surfaced online, we can tell that they really got into it. It showed them having anything but a pleasant sushi date. Beyoncé was yelling and waving her finger at Jay-Z while he looked like he was glued to his phone the whole time. They say that it's rude to use your phone at dinner, but even worse, he just seems like he wasn't listening to her at all. The truth is, we'll never know what started the public argument, but it wasn't the first intense fight that they've ever been in. This all took place 2 years after the bizarre elevator fight at the 2014 Met Gala between Jay-Z and Beyoncé's sister Solange, when she started attacking him by punching and kicking him in an elevator, all while the bodyguards eventually had to restrain her. It was really quite funny because Beyoncé was just standing there and watching it all unfold. The three artists did make a joint statement about the incident, which read, quote, "They both have apologized to each other and we have moved forward as a united family." And coming in at number 1, Shia LaBeouf and Mia Goth. The controversial actor Shia LaBeouf has had some seriously messed up allegations brought against him in recent years, but this fight was just so bizarre that it deserves a place on the list. The actor and his former longtime girlfriend Mia Goth, who has recently starred in the horror movie X, got into a heated altercation in Germany in 2015 that was all captured on video. The argument occurred on the streets and got so bad that a few locals had to intervene. Shia was heard shouting, quote, "I don't want to touch a woman, I don't want to hit a woman, but I'm being pushed." He then got into a random person's car and had them drive him to the airport. He later told that same person that if he had stayed there, then he would have taken her life. but they seem to have made up after the fight and even got married in 2016 in Las Vegas, only to split up 2 years later. The relationship was probably a complicated one because in 2020, People magazine reported that the pair was spotted together wearing wedding rings. Hopefully they parted for good because they seem to be extremely toxic together.
And at number 10, Ariana Grande and Pete Davidson. This relationship was hard to watch because we all knew that they were moving too fast and it was most likely a mistake, but the fans still supported it anyways. The pair met while Ariana was guest hosting on SNL, and instantly they were all over each other. The pair even got engaged a few short months later, leading many to scratch their heads. But only a few months after that, the pair revealed that they were going to be ending their engagement. Ariana told Vogue in the August 2019 issue that their whole relationship was highly unrealistic. She added, quote, "I met Pete and it was an amazing distraction. It was frivolous and fun and insane and highly unrealistic. And I loved him and I didn't know him." And at number 9, Khloe Kardashian and Lamar Odom. This one makes me so sad because Khloe and Lamar were my favorite couple until it was exposed that most of their relationship was a lie. These two got married only 3 weeks after meeting one another because they knew they were madly in love. They stayed together for a few years and they even had their own reality show called Khloe and Lamar. But years later, the couple suddenly divorced. It was exposed that Lamar had been cheating on Khloe almost constantly throughout their marriage with countless women. The couple divorced shortly after he was found unconscious in a brothel, and even though they were separating, the Kardashians were still there for him and helped him get back on his feet. Khloe spoke about the split, saying, quote, "I never wanted the divorce to begin with, but you know, I never want him to spiral out of control. But some people need to walk down a certain path in order to heal, so I'm just happy that he's healing." And at number 8, Ozzy and Sharon Osbourne. These two have been together for many years, with their relationship starting as a business relationship with Sharon managing Ozzy. But that doesn't mean the relationship has not been rocky. During their relationship, Sharon got the feeling Ozzy had been cheating on her, which he ended up confessing to. In 2018, Sharon revealed that she managed to get the truth out by Ozzy with sleeping pills. She said, quote, "I was a broken woman. He sent me an email that was meant for one of his women, then he took his sleeping pills. I put an extra 2 in his drink and asked him everything and everything came out." The couple briefly split in 2016 because of this cheating, however the two did eventually get back together and have been together ever since. And at number 7, Jesy James and Sandra Bullock. This marriage went down in flames due to infidelity caused by Jessy's insecurity over their relationship. The couple first started dating in 2003 and got married in 2005, but after only 5 years of marriage they split in 2010 after it was exposed that Jesy had been cheating with multiple women. After the split, Jesy said the hardest thing was not being able to be with their adopted child Louis. But in 2017 he raised some eyebrows when he said, quote, "In general, both women and men cheat. It's part of life," basically making light of the cheating. However, after those comments got a lot of heat, Jesy changed his tune and made a statement saying, quote, "This has caused my wife and kids pain and embarrassment beyond comprehension, and I'm extremely saddened to have brought this on them. I'm truly sorry for the grief that I have caused them. I hope one day they can find it in their hearts to forgive me." And at number 6, Jessica Simpson and Nick Lachey. After only 4 years of marriage and a reality show that brought us into the lives of the couple, these two had a messy split, and Jessica ended up filing for divorce in 2005. And from what we saw on TV, everyone was pretty sure they were going to split while watching season 3 of their show. They even admitted on TV that they didn't know as much as they thought they did about each other before getting married. A producer on the show even explained the tension between them. Nick was blue collar and frugal, while Jessica was a big spender. During a 2015 interview on CNBC's Closing Bell, she revealed that her biggest financial mistake was marrying Nick because she had to pay him $12 million. Jessica said they were fine when they were filming, but when the camera crews left, it was very tense and awkward. Halfway at number 5, Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. You guys already know we had to include this one because this might be the most cursed relationship ever that is sadly still playing out in the courts. When they split in 2016 after a brief marriage, Amber accused Johnny of getting physical with her on multiple occasions. But then in 2019, after denying the claims, Johnny alleged that Amber was the one that actually was physical with him. Then shortly after, explosive audio recordings leaked that showed Amber admitted to being physical with Johnny in the past. As of now, Johnny has been losing their legal battles. He even lost a libel suit against the Sun, but he is not giving up and he's committed to having the truth revealed in court. In at number 4, Janelle Evans and David Eason. After Janelle Evans had been unlucky in love with her 2 previous partners, many felt that David Eason was finally the man who would make it all right. The pair even got married and had a child together, but shortly after things began to unravel and it was revealed that there were a lot of problems going on in the marriage. It was discovered that Janelle had called 911 on David before, as well as revealed that he took the life of their family dog after it was aggressive with their child. After this all took place, the pair temporarily lost custody of their kids, and Janelle claimed she was going to be getting a divorce. But after things got sorted out, Janelle decided to stay with David and claimed that they would do their best to work it out. In at number 3, Rob Kardashian and Blac Chyna. This has to be one of the messiest celebrity relationships ever, literally every aspect of it. Things were strange from the very beginning because there was a familial connection. Chyna and Tyga had been married and even had a child together, but Tyga left Chyna for Kylie Jenner, Rob's half-sister. Immediately, the Kardashians thought Chyna pursued Rob for the wrong reasons, but over time they got used to the relationship. When the couple got pregnant, the Kardashians were in full support, until the relationship started to become incredibly toxic and things turned ugly. Both Rob and Chyna posted private conversations and photos of one another to the internet. The pair are now in a legal battle. Chyna even sued the Kardashian family for allegedly kicking her off the show. In at number 2, Courtney Love and Kurt Cobain. The relationship between this couple was incredibly volatile, not only because of their personalities clashing, but because substance use was involved. It seems that they both were a bad influence on each other, and their relationship made their substance abuse even worse. In 1992, Courtney told a story about one of their first weekends together. She said that they did a lot of and they even got high, then went to SNL while still intoxicated. When Courtney got pregnant with their daughter, they both vowed to get clean so she could grow up in a healthy environment. However, just 2 years after Kurt and Courtney got married, it was discovered that Kurt had taken his own life, although many fans speculate that Courtney was actually the person responsible for his death. And finally, at number 1, Kourtney Kardashian and Scott Disick. Scott and Kourtney were together when the Kardashians started their reality show, but right off the bat it was clear that he was the black sheep of the family, and they all had their suspicions about Scott. Over the course of the show, we saw these two break up, make up, and get pregnant 3 times together. It was clear that infidelity was a part of the problem. Scott wanted to be out partying till the early morning, while Kourtney just wanted to stay home with the kids. Kourtney eventually called things off for good after Scott went on another party binge weeks after the birth of their 3rd child, and photos of him getting cozy with other women surfaced. Over the years, the pair have developed a close friendship and even sparked rumors that they were getting back together. But clearly things are still rocky, which we know by the messages that Scott sent to Eunice Benjima, shading Kourtney and Travis Barker, which are super weird.